the Ghost Ballers, undefeated against Gilbert Arenas and the enemies. Welcome back inside Legacy Arena. Ed Cohen with Avery Johnson. Hey, we're in Alabama. Great to see a guy you coached with the Nets, Gerald Wallace, courtside with Roz.
Yeah, Gerald Wallace was a fierce competitor. He begged to guard the opposing team's best player every night. He always wanted to defend that player, slow him down, limit his success. And then in transition, he had some foot speed for his size. He could get up and down the floor at an accelerated rate, unlike anybody I've seen in a long time.
Well, we get a great game here. You need guys like Gerald Wallace against the Ghost Ballers, and on the other side, the enemies, because there are some stars, no question, to close this triple header as we take a look now at the rosters presented by State Farm. Yes, you must account for Gilbert Arenas for the enemies. Yes, you must account for Ricky Davis for the Ghost Ballers. And yes, you must account for Alabama native Jamario Moon for the undefeated Ghost Ballers as well.
Yeah, Jamario Moon is saying, sweet home Alabama. I'm back at home, playing in my home state. You know, here's a guy that's hit 2 game winners to start the season. But Arenas says, I'm gonna have to do something about that. I'm going back in my bag of tricks that I used to use with the Wizards when I averaged 27 points for 3 straight years. Only Kobe, LeBron, and Allen Iverson did it in the same time frame. But Jamario Moon has expanded his game, stretched it out behind the 3-point line. He just plays the right way.
Oh, there he is, the baddest bad boy of them all, Rick Mahorn, the champion with the Pistons in 1989 and won the Big 3 title as coach of Trilogy in the inaugural season. And another Detroit guy, Motown native, George Gervin, the Iceman, 12-time NBA and ABA All-Star, led the NBA in scoring not once, not twice, but 4 times, just like Wilt and MJ.
Ed, there are only 2 people in this building whose jerseys are retired in San Antonio. You know the 2?
George Gervin, and he's about 2 feet from me right now.
Yes.
Number 6. Great to be with you, Avery Johnson, our entire crew, as we're underway in Game 3. Ricky Davis off the mark, and Royce White with the rebound for the enemies. Can't wait to get back there to the Alamo City in August with you.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I have some pretty good restaurants, Ed.
Good. You mentioned breakfast about 5 times in 2 weeks, so I'm really excited.
The fans said Kawhi Leonard was going to eat free in Toronto if he re-signed. We might have a chance of eating free and getting a complimentary dinner.
I like it. I will say this, Kawhi won a title in Toronto, so he still might eat free there, and he's certainly going to eat free in Los Angeles now. Just underway. They're deciding if it was a shooting foul, and it is. So Ricky Davis is going to the line for a 2-point shot, which is a dangerous proposition because he, 1, gets there often, and 2, Avery, last year led the league in total points.
And the Ghost Ballers, they play the right way. This is a team, I think they love each other more than any team in the Big 3. They're always having breakfast together. They spend a lot of time together. I heard they're on the phone all week long, emailing each other, sending videos.
Oh, the closeout, the bump by White, no call, behind the back. Arenas will trigger in and out. Wild possession that time.
A simple chest pass probably wouldn't have thrown Arenas off of his spot. When you get a 3-on-2 in the Big 3, you got to take advantage of it.
Oh, Bibby wanted it for 4 points that time. Out of bounds, Craig Smith for the enemies. A couple of miscues early on both sides. Here's Mike Bibby, the captain of the Ghost Ballers. Moon hits a tough ball away in his return to his home state.
I am so impressed with Jamario Moon. I think he's got the early lead for the MVP in the Big 3.
First 2 weeks combined to score 41 points, shot 68% from Goodwater, Alabama. 4-0 Ghost Ballers. Royce White, number 1 pick in this year's draft.
It's great to see Mike Bibby back out here this week. I think he tweaked his hamstring a little bit last week. Went home and did some rehab, and now he's back playing.
Davis was blocked, but Davis finds a way, set up by Moon. How about this 6-0 start for the Ghost Ballers?
They're really focused to start this game. Guys are ready to shoot.
Craig Smith, the turnaround over Moon, gets the enemies on the board. Oh, you hear the Ghost Ballers bench screaming to the moon, as in Jamario. Here he is.
The play is to set up a lob for Moon, and if he's not open for the lob, he'll bounce back for a three-point shot.
Bibby, not that time, gets it back. Moon for three. But you can see the Ghost Ballers are so in sync. Gilbert Arenas is just the third week of the season.
They're in sync. They're playing with a tremendous amount of energy.
Moon, four-pointer. Now, both teams have extended the floor, to say the least. Craig Smith gets it back.
That's the advantage that the enemies have inside. Probably should try to utilize that a little bit more, since the Ghost Ballers are not playing with a traditional big man.
Davis draws the foul, going up for a three-point shot against Royce White. And as per Big 3 rules, he'll get one shot from beyond the three-point arc.
I know there's a lot of holding and grabbing and physicality, but that was too much on that closeout. Got to close out with your hands up on the rival, and then if he decides to drive you got to get your hands out a little bit.
In and out. Davis, 10 points week 1, 20 last week in Philadelphia. Craig Smith shakes the shoulders. Air ball, Bibby right back up and in. Mike Bibby, first basket in this Big 3 season.
Just awareness and alertness on Bibby's part, knowing that that was an air ball, and I have an opportunity to go up and get an easy two.
Oh, Craig Smith fouled, and Moon smiling. He knows it. He fouls him shooting a three. So Craig Smith, a 6-year NBA veteran, is going to get one shot from beyond the arc.
Defensively, both teams are going to have to be a little bit more disciplined on their closeouts, specifically behind the three-point line. We've had 2 fouls now on three-point shooters. And eventually somebody's going to make a three with their free shot and capitalize on it.
As a coach, I'm sure you've seen this. It's so hard to block a three-point shooter. And yet we see guys try it all the time as Smith drills it for 3 points that time. But there's a danger of you put him on the line or give him an open shot.
Yeah, and the Ghost Ballers had a 6-0 lead, and now he's 8-7, all because they're turning the ball over or fouling three-point shooters.
Moon frees up space. Air ball over the rim. Weiss inside. Tipped, but snared by Moon. Davis catch and shoot. Ricky Davis knocks it down. Nice answer for the Ghost Ballers.
Davis has a look in his eyes similar to what Stoudemire had in game 1, that I think I'm going to just try to dominate this game, get 20-plus points, and try to lead my team to victory.
You see the Ghost Ballers on the floor. Moon, Bibby, Davis. Ricky Davis halfway down, but no.
It seems like Ricky Davis made every shot at practice last night.
Yes. Not bad. Age of 39. Ghost Ballers get it back. Davis in as good shape as anyone in the league. And which way is it going? It's going to stay with the Ghost Ballers with 6 on the shot clock. They're going to review the out-of-bounds play here in this first half with the Ghost Ballers, Avery, leading the enemies 11-7.
I'm just glad that, the review is, we're able to review these plays.
Yes.
We just want to get it right. I love transparency from referees or the Big 3, because it just helps your product when the fans really trust, what you're doing and how you're operating your league.
And the big thing is to maintain the pace of play that's necessary for the players, coaches, and even the fans in the building watching. If you can get it right in a timely fashion, by all means.
And that's what it's all about, getting it right. It's not about embarrassing anybody, especially a referee. Those guys have a job to do. But I'm impressed with Ricky Davis to start the game, trying to mix up his game a little bit, playing with a lot of emotion.
Let's give credit to the officials. David Posner is the crew chief. Charles Rubia, Dave Powell, and Dave McAndrew, part of the crew as well. And enemies will get the basketball. It was a challenge from Rick Mahorn, call reversed. And as a result, the enemies take over early in this third and final game in Birmingham.
Be pretty interesting to see when George Gervin, the Iceman, subs the microwave in the game, Mike Taylor.
Robinson, which way is it going? Davis on him. Offensive.
Great call. Ricky Davis, he understands the scouting report. Robinson is a driver.
Now, Mike Taylor has provided a great spark in the first 2 weeks for the Ghost Ballers. Comes in, and Davis loses it off his foot.
And I know we're focused on Mike Taylor, the player, but I am so impressed with what he does in the community in Milwaukee, his hometown. The way he gives back to kids, volunteers in the community, all of his outreach efforts. It's outstanding work he's doing in the Milwaukee community.
He's from the zip code 53206. He said it's a tough part of town in Milwaukee, but the work with nonprofits, the drive there by Taylor, he's going to the line for a two-point shot. And when the Big 3's in Milwaukee August 4th, those Ballers are going to play in Chicago the night before, but he'll be up there in Wisconsin, part of a Big 3 event with the community.
Plays with a tremendous amount of heart. And Mike said, hey, Coach Avery, I can help an NBA team. He said, I think I'll be the best 8-man in the league if I can just get a look. And I believe him. He's fast. He plays both ends of the floor. This guy picks up 94 feet when it's a full-court game. But he's a coach's dream.
Oh, we saw one NBA season for him.
Did he score 30 points in the game?
35.
Where was that?
At the Garden against the Knicks. Didn't attempt a single three. He'll shoot threes now, but he said, different NBA, as you know. Putting on moves against White. Mike Taylor, reverse lay-in. Nicely done, 13-9, Ghost Ballers.
Mike Taylor said, when you're a big guy and you're trying to guard me, I'm going to put you on your skates and I'm going to use the basket to finish.
Ghost Ballers looking for their third win, up 13-9 on the enemies. One of the enemies' newest pieces, Lamar Odom. Queens kid, started Rhode Island for one season, hit a legendary buzzer beater in the A-10 tournament. Fourth pick of the Clippers in 1999, 14 NBA seasons, beloved as a teammate. And the high point, 2 titles with the Lakers in 2009, and again 1 year later. Lamar Odom with Raz Goldanwude.
Lamar, it's really great to see you here, and as you try to build your comeback, what are the things you're finding on the court that are coming back the hardest versus what are the things that it's like you never missed a beat?
Well, my ball handling is like far behind, and I mean I can still shoot the ball, but my ball handling is lagging.
You know, I happened to see you in Atlanta at the gym. You told me you're working on your ball handling. You also told me that it was your love for the game that brought you to the Big 3. Yeah. What are your goals with the game right now? What do you think?
We're going to win this.
I'm saying for you personally with the game.
Just to play basketball and finish my career on my own terms.
What would your own terms be?
Winning, happy.
Overseas?
Maybe overseas.
Well, I wish you the best with finding that.
What'd you say?
I wish you the best with finding that. Are you happy right now?
I am happy.
Thank you for your time. Good luck. You guys?
All right, Roz, Avery, simply put, it is so great to see him here in Alabama, but here in the Big 3, trying to come back. He's been so open about his health issues, battles with addiction, and Lamar Odom on the path to keeping his career alive and showing people what he can still do as a person and a professional.
You know, years ago, there was a commercial, you know, Charles Barkley talked about, I'm not a role model. And, you know, in context, we understood what he was talking about, but Lamar Odom is a role model, especially when you're facing those type of addictions and being able to come back from that adversity and putting it out there front and center. And he looks good. I'm glad that he's playing the game and playing it here in the Big 3.
The new book, Darkness to Light, from Lamar Odom, highlighting some of his stories. And getting to this point, he's 39 years old, out today for the enemies, but they hope he's a key piece down the stretch of this Big 3 season. How about that move? Up and under, going reverse. Derek Byers out of Vanderbilt. Second-round pick in 2007.
You know who's coaching at Vanderbilt now? Jerry Stackhouse.
Stack. Taylor, no. Rebound, Byers. The Commodores. Now, Jerry Stackhouse was a finalist for some NBA jobs and then went to the G League, did a terrific job. Byers again cleaning up the missed shot to the right.
He won a G League championship. I coached him with the Mavericks.
Mike Taylor. And up for it is Byers again. Ed Cohen, Avery Johnson, Roz Goldon-Woode with you from Birmingham. And carrying's the call on Derek Byers.
I think if he calls that up and under on Byers, we can call it the whole game. We can call it the entire game. Carlos Boozer, he said we're calling that this week.
At least because he's here.
Yes.
So right now for the Ghost Ballers, Taylor, Davis, and Moon. Ricky Davis, doubled, fall away. Byers cleans it up.
Outstanding job by White keeping Davis in front.
Smith seals and scores, and the recognition from White. He saw that it was Taylor underneath defending.
And that's why I disagree when I've heard that you can't have as much movement in 3-on-3. Yes, you can. That was a solid cut by Smith. Fabulous pass by White, and you can move, you can cut, you have time. You don't have to just post up or run pick and rolls. Back cut.
Agent Zero waiting to come in for the enemies. White, they call a foul. Now the officials confer number one. It looked like he was behind the line shooting a three. Royce White, they say, got him on the way up.
Couldn't see it from that angle where his foot was, but I thought he was on the 4-point line.
How about this? The Ghost Ballers were in command. A 7-0 run for the enemies, and right now it's a 20-16 game. And what has been an exciting start to round out this triple header. Debut, 13 points and a comeback victory for the enemies over the Ball Hogs. 11 NBA seasons for Agent Zero.
Gilbert had a solid NBA career. Injuries cut it short. But Agent Zero, when he was in his prime, it's hard to guard.
I think so. Now look at John Wall and Bradley Beal with the Wizards, but it wasn't too long ago that this guy was putting up major numbers, over 20 points per game average in his 11-year career.
And from 2004 to 2007, he averaged 27 points a game.
Incredible.
We talked about it earlier. That's with the likes of Kobe Bryant and Allen Iverson and LeBron James.
You were spot on, Avery. Had a foot in the circle. It's going to be one shot for 4 points for Ricky Davis.
Solid recognition by Davis. Took advantage of the defender. we've seen more 4-point attempts in this game than we have in the last 2 weeks.
Yes. Donnie Robinson hit one for Tri-State in game 1. They were winners to begin the day against Three's Company.
We always talked about as a coach, what were your non-negotiables? My non-negotiables were, do not foul a 3-point shooter.
Davis misses from 4, but he gets the rebound and scores from 2. Two-point game here in Birmingham, Alabama. White jostle, stripped by Davis. Looks like it's going to stay with the enemies.
You got to take advantage of the Ghost Ballers' lack of size by finishing inside, similar to what Greg Oden did in our previous game.
That was a win for the Aliens against the Ball Hogs. 3 to shoot, Royce White. And Jamaria Moon boxing out Craig Smith. Moon rises, fires, played 2 NBA games. Entry to Smith, spins, and a nice touch.
The Ghost Ballers haven't had much success on the switch with Royce White, trying to attack Royce White. Probably need to go somewhere else, go elsewhere and attack another guy, maybe like Smith in this situation. You can have some success.
Craig Smith already with 10 points. Fouled by Taylor, and he's going to the line. The 3-point line. He was behind it. He's going to shoot 1 shot for 3 points.
Historically, Craig Smith hasn't been a 3-point shooter, so to foul him attempting a 3, he probably was on the line.
And they shifted it correctly.
Okay.
Good work to huddle up by the crew.
All right, here we go. 1 for 2. Hey, ho.
Craig Smith start for Al Skinner at Boston College. Fairfax High School in California. Enemies trying to make it 2 straight wins. And Craig Smith capitalizes. 1 point from the break. Enemies up 24-18.
And they're doing it without Gilbert Arenas having an impact on the game.
Agent 0, scoreless. Smith. Was it Bibby or Arenas? And there's Ricky Davis. You can hear him screaming, review it.
I love replay, but I don't think we need another.
It's only week 3, but every break is critical. Well, they're not abiding by your wishes. I'm sorry. Monitors out. Well, it's great, though, to be here in Birmingham, Alabama. You think about the history in this building, so many terrific games. Another look at when there was Bibby or Arenas.
We had a couple of terrific games in this building. When I was coaching at Alabama, we played Oregon, a really good Oregon team that went to the Final Four. Texas with Mo Bamba and Clemson. But I guarantee you this, Ed, you and I are walking out of this game tonight with a win.
Yes.
I didn't have much success coaching in this building, but we're leaving our building tonight with a win.
I hear that all television analysts are undefeated. Perfect record. This is very close, and this is a big call here because you have the Ghost Ballers who've been so good through 2 weeks, down by 6. Maybe chip away a little bit before the break. The enemies have a chance to take a commanding lead into halftime here in Birmingham.
In a commanding lead going into halftime, that can provide some momentum for you as you start the second half. But they got the call correct. That was Ghost Ballers.
So the call stands. Boozer in for the Ghost Ballers with Bibby and Davis. The captain, Bibby, offloads. Boozer rolls, couldn't get there in time. Last touch by Smith with 8 to shoot. In the Magic City of Birmingham, Alabama.
If Boozer can give the Ghost Ballers somewhat of an inside presence,
Royce White with the touch, and the enemies take a 26-18 lead into the break here in week number 3. If I told you they'd have 26 points, halftime lead, and none from Gilbert Arenas, your thoughts would have been?
Thought I'd be dreaming. Gilbert Arenas scoring, but it's give them credit for saying, okay, maybe Gilbert is being denied, maybe he's having a hard time, but let's go, let's get one of his teammates involved.
Roz is working the huddle. The enemies, an 8-point lead at the break. Roz with the fattest bad boy of them all, Rick Lamore.
Coach, you like the music and the vibes in here? You like the music and the vibes in here? I see you dancing.
Yeah, I like the music and the vibes, but I like just, scoring. The way Ice Cube has this going, it's very fun, very enjoyable, and I think the guys really come out there and perform well.
Yes, and on the other side, they have a lot of talented guard play. What are the strengths that you want your team to play to?
Go inside out. One thing about having guard play, they ain't got a big man that can stop my big man. So we're going to continue to go attack the basket until somebody does something different.
And specifically, when Mike Taylor is out there dancing with the ball, trying to set up his shot, what do you want to see defensively versus him?
Defensively, Mike Taylor is a scorer, but the thing is he feeds off the crowd. And if you go with the ooh and ah, he'll make it. But you know what? This is a game where he can showcase his skills. And our guys got to realize that he's trying to make shots and trying to get to the free throw line.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Guys.
All right, Ross, thanks. Halftime festivities in Birmingham to cap this triple header. For now, Jamario Moon's Ghost Ballers trailing by 8 to the enemies.
Big 3 basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
Ice Cube enjoying at halftime of this third game. Enemies with an 8-point lead. Ed Cohen back with Avery Johnson. It's July 6th. Before we break down the first half, hey, happy anniversary, my friend.
Thanks, Ed. 28 years with Miss Cassandra.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well, it was well done for the enemies in that first half. Avery, success in getting to the basket right from the start.
Yes, and since they don't have a traditional enemies don't have a traditional post player, you can attack the basket and have success with the drive. You can attack with penetration and make a short pass or secure an offensive rebound. And if you can gather offensive rebounds and go up and finish, that you can be successful. And here is what I'm talking about. Dribble, drive, Smith, finishing in the basket, and now offensive rebounding. You don't have to be a traditional post player to be successful, but a great job by the enemies and they're having success without even making a three-point shot.
Yep. 0 of 7 from 3. As we look at the numbers, they were 10 of 23 from the field. So if you take away those 7 missed three-pointers, 10 for 16 and plus 16 in the paint. And Smith leading the way with 14 points.
They're winning the old-fashioned way.
Out of a double to Arenas, and he drills it. Agent Zero waiting for that first points of the night.
And probably at halftime, George Gervin, the Ghost Ballers coach, probably said, hey, we need to defend the paint better. And they did a great job of defending the paint better. And the enemies did an exceptional job of reading the defense and kicking it out for 3.
All right, he wanted it from 4-point range and a little too much. He could laugh it off and take the shot with an 11-point lead, too.
Really impressed with the balance from the enemies.
Stripped, White the steal, White the slam. He ripped it away from Davis straight up and finishes for the enemies.
And what a tale of two halves. He fouled in that situation in the first half, and now he got a clean steal.
All Davis, all the shot attempts of the Ghost Ballers to start the half. Smith and Moon up for the rebound. 13-point lead for the enemies. Moon over White. Ghost Ballers out of rhythm right now.
I just think Moon playing with a lot of pressure when you come back home to play. I experienced that when I went back home to play in New Orleans. or even when you go to play against a team that maybe traded you.
Sideline, guys.
Now, Royce White, if you go back to last week against the Ball Hogs, comeback win for the enemies, scored 10 points, but was critical during a 20-2 surge. Arenas missed it over Bibby.
Early in the game, Ricky Davis had an impact on the game offensively. He's looking to just pass the ball. He's not nearly as aggressive in playing with as much energy as he did early in the game.
They sag off him. Now finds Smith. Drills the three. Craig Smith having a huge game. He's got 17, and it's a 16-point cushion. And now the challenge for the Ghost Ballers, Avery. They missed 7 consecutive shots. Davis again misses.
If the enemies start making threes, and they've made 2 to start the half, it's probably bye-bye, Ghost Ballers.
White, no foul, nicely done, but given back to White. And Craig Smith adds to the run. It's 10 consecutive points to begin the half, and George Gervin has to take a timeout.
Excellent pass by White. Offensive rebounds. When you can secure offensive rebounds and loose balls, look like he passed it between his legs.
It's a commanding 36-18 lead on the Ghost Ballers. Second half from Alabama. Gilbert Arenas, Agent Zero. He is mic'd up tonight.
I told you, Ricky pump fakes every first play, every single time. He was afraid I was gonna get the rebound over you. Oh. Let's go, black ball. We know what the ball is. I hit your hand. I hit your hand.
Oh, one of the more colorful characters from the last 20 years in the NBA and beyond. And Avery, his team, even slow day for Gilbert Arenas, has picked up the slack.
His team they've done a great, excellent job of picking up the slack. They knew they were underdogs coming into this game against the 2-0 Ghost Ballers, but his team is playing relaxed. Look like Gilbert's having a lot of fun, and they're playing with a lot of freedom.
Rick Mahorn all smiles for now. Mike Taylor short. And now it's Arenas to extend the lead. Gilbert Arenas makes it a 21-point enemy's advantage.
He was making half-court shots in practice yesterday, and it's carried over to the second half of this game.
Taylor, much needed 4-pointer for the Ghost Ballers.
We'll see if that can give the Ghost Ballers a little momentum.
Craig Smith has led the way with 19. Switched on to Davis. Craig Smith short, Mike Taylor's there.
Mike should go back to the 4-point shot.
Drive stripped. Off the thigh of Taylor.
We talked about 4-point attempts, taking advantage of it. Your team is down. Excellent decision by Mike Taylor.
I'll tell you what, this guy has been a star through 2+ weeks. Craig Smith is going to the line for a 2-point shot. 26 points, then 19 last week. 45 points after 2 games, and he's got 19 tonight.
Plays with amazing heart. Plays the right way. Plays with a chip on his shoulder.
In terms of interior presence, Ghost Ballers have not had a match for him. There it is. Taylor again from the same 4-point circle. And that changes this one. Ghost Ballers creeping a little closer.
And Rick Mahorn, the enemy's coach, talked about one of the reasons why they were winning is because of their defense on Mike Taylor, and he feeds off the crowd. It's 2 4-pointers in a row. I would go right back to the 4-point line. Stick with what's working.
Arenas for 3. Taylor, let's see what he does. Moon directing him. Moon against Smith. Last touch by Craig Smith with 5 to shoot.
Now, Moon talked about, hey, if a guy is hot, we're going to go right back to him. I thought he should have gone right back to Mike Taylor. He's made 2 consecutive 4-point shots.
On number 88 with matching 4s.
It's pretty good, Ed.
He's been waiting to do that, you know it, for 3 weeks. Looks like the enemies are challenging that last call on the out-of-bounds play.
And good defense by the Ghost Ballers on Arenas, making him put the ball on the floor before he attempts a 3. Looked like that was off the leg of your Mario Moon.
Rick Mahorn successfully challenged earlier, got to keep his challenge, and now doing it again, and he might go 2 for 2 here. Looked like it was off Moon's thigh.
It was a great challenge by the bad boy.
Yes.
One of the bad boys.
Well, George Blaha, as it's overturned, the challenge works, goes back to the enemies. George Blaha, great Pistons television voice for many years, dubbed Rick Mahorn the baddest bad boy of them all. And you're right, there's a long list of them.
My favorite bad boy was my homeboy, Joe Dumars.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. And I played with another bad boy, Dennis Rodman, and he was a bad boy.
Some might say he was the best. It's a long list. Arenas doesn't go. He just thought about trying to save it. I mean, some very close calls throughout this game. Speaks volumes about the talent level out there between these two. And the Ghost Ballers will have it to end our conversation about the late 80s Pistons. Mike Taylor, Milwaukee kid, he said his idol, his favorite, was Isaiah Thomas. Davis against Arenas, leans in, and Ricky Davis excels at getting to the line. He's going to have a 2-point shot.
And smart play by Ricky Davis. He started his move from the 4-point line. It forced the defense to close out further to him, and then he made a decision to take him off the drill.
Davis with 9 points, but Avery 3 of 10 from the field. The Ghost Ballers shooting 30%. Well, if you take away the 3s for the enemies, they've been terrific from inside the arc and almost 43% overall.
Very important time in the game right here for the enemies to get quality shots, keep the ball moving a little bit. Quick drives.
White, much needed with that left hand, ends a 10-0 run for the Ghost Ballers.
Yeah, but you saw 2 or 3 passes. You saw a flare screen, pick and roll, catch and drive.
Taylor, look at the speed, but he missed a bunny.
He was a blur on that play.
Smith drop step, Taylor the steal. And Smith grabbed Taylor going for the loose ball, and Craig Smith is irate. But it looked like to be the right call.
And we talked about it in one of our earlier games with Nate Robinson. Smaller guys do not like to get posted up. And looking at Mike Taylor, he looks about, what, 170 pounds? So he's probably giving up 50 pounds or more to Smith.
He'd probably smile and say soaking wet. Moon was at the 4-point circle, lanes open, and Moon will go to the line for the Ghost Ballers. Now this is a critical free throw, and defensively, they're going to need some stops here down the stretch.
And if I'm the Ghost Ballers, I would try to initiate my offense at the 4-point line every single time. They've had a lot of success, and have done it exceptionally well.
Avery, Jamario Moon, a pleasure to talk to him yesterday at practice. Native of Goodwater, Alabama. Town of about 1,500, and he smiled. He said, I hope half the town is here tonight at Legacy Arena. But someone who's provided a huge boost for the Ghost Ballers through 2+ weeks. And a closer look at Jamario Moon, 5 NBA seasons, had a great rookie year with the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, I remember when he competed in the slam dunk contest, and he was a high flyer, especially off of one leg. He wasn't much of a 2-foot jumper, but off of one leg, he was a highlight.
He's probably one of the rare guys who toured with the Harlem Globetrotters before playing in the NBA. That was in 2004, and turned in what was a solid career beginning in 2007 with Toronto.
We have some really compelling stories with a lot of our players here in the Big Three. Their backgrounds, NBA careers. Some of our guys have played overseas their entire career in 6 or 7 or 8 different countries. Bring a wealth of experience to the Big Three. That's why our product is so good.
Now, a lot of the excitement this year, number one, 4 expansion clubs, enemies being one, but the players new to the league. Gilbert Arenas, Lamar Odom, Joe Johnson's done some amazing things. He'll be with the triplets tomorrow in Atlanta. We have a lot of new, exciting talent that's come into the league here in year number 3.
Yeah, a lot of our guys are accomplished and had extraordinary careers, and it continues.
Big shot from Moon. 41-30. The enemies, it's still a double-digit lead. Craig Smith with Royce White and Gilbert Arenas. Agent Zero with it for the enemies. Doubled and off the leg of Davis with 5 to shoot.
Yeah, smart move by Ricky Davis to get down and give Mike Taylor some help. They're going to post up. They're going to post up Arenas. They got to get him in the paint.
Smith, the recognition with the shot clock coming down, scores to give him 21. Taylor over Arenas. Enemies in a good spot now.
Yeah, normally that's like a layup for Mike Taylor. He just unfortunately didn't finish it.
Craig Smith, the big body, low to the ground. He's got 23. He's made 8 shots, and the enemies 5 points from their second win. Moon, not so fast from the Ghost Ballers.
And that's the best matchup. Moon against Smith on the perimeter, especially if he can make his 3-point shots.
Taylor does not like it. Arenas gets the benefit of the call. Tri-State 1, Nate Robinson playing earlier, and Nate has arguably the best seat in the house. He is right underneath the basket.
Did Nate Robinson pay for that seat? I got to talk to Ice Cube about this.
Is that a satchel? Nate was in a Bryce Harper jersey last week in Philadelphia. White, muscles his way inside. He's going to shoot one at the line.
This morning at breakfast in the restaurant, Royce White came into the restaurant in a full-out sweat. He worked out this morning. I don't know what he did in his workout, but boy, he was ready to play.
Many will remember he only played 3 games in the NBA. But a top pick in the first round out of Iowa State and the #1 pick this year in the Big 3. Couldn't corral that rebound, and Davis obliges.
That was all Mike Taylor going in, getting a hand on that offensive rebound, still playing with a tremendous amount of energy.
Enemies 5 points away. White switched on a Moon. No look. Arenas. Yes! Agent Zero sets a point game for the enemies.
Gilbert Arenas, that was a deep 3, but Royce White made that play by penetrating it on time, on target pass.
For the win. Gilbert Arenas knocks it down. Game over in Birmingham. Enemies a winner.
Not only is the bank open, but all of the lakes around the state of Alabama, they're wide open.
2 threes to close the game.
Gilbert Arenas says the basket, Coach Johnson, is wide as a lake. What a nice pass and moving screen by Royce White.
2 in a row for the enemies. An impressive effort here tonight in Birmingham, Alabama, and Gilbert Arenas sizing up the Ghost Ballers for that final shot. And he buries it over to Rosgold on Woodhead.
Craig, congratulations. You've been stringing some very strong games together. How are you picking your spots out there?
I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to play basketball again. I've been through such a tough journey. People don't even know my journey, but I'm so thankful to be here and have this opportunity. It means so much.
For those who don't know, what are the most important parts of your journey that is fueling you right now in the Big 3?
I think just learning that process of being patient and living in the moment. I'm a firm believer of living in the moment, and that's what's got me here.
That's wonderful. You can enjoy this moment. 2 wins in a row. That one against a very good team. What is clicking for your team right now?
I think we're playing together. We're getting some good chemistry. Everybody's playing well together. I know we got some guys that are out, but we making it happen for them. So we're just out here playing aggressive, playing physical, playing our game.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. R.I.P. Tyler Honeycutt. I love you, Mom, dudes.
Guys.
Craig Smith, 23 points. Gilbert Arenas with the final 6 for the enemies. Winners to cap the triple header in Birmingham here on CBS Sports Network. And more to come after this.